Welcome to Inside the Program on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel powered by InsideTexas.com. I'm your host, Justin Wells. With me, as always, is Eric Nalin. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, please like this video and subscribe to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel. Help us climb to that 8,000 viewer mark. We're getting sub mark. We're getting there. Also, use the promo code IT1, and that'll get you 2 months of InsideTexas.com for only $1. And there really isn't a better time from recruiting, from team info, and from a lot of stuff we're about to dive into today off the field. Let's just jump right into it. An incredible humidor this morning from Eric Nalin and Joe Cook, who's on his way back from Destin, Florida right now in the SEC meetings. From chaos comes order, Eric. Tell me about it.
Well, yeah, college football has been in a very chaotic state the last few years. Now, it hasn't always seemed that way to Texas fans because, UT has expertly navigated these waters. But now it's going to get a lot more trying for the Texas Brain Trust, Jay Hartzell, Chris Del Conte, Kevin Eltife. As things are really about to get to nut cutting time, there's going to be compromises are going to be have to be made. Even Texas is going to have to make compromises. Everybody's going to have to jockey to protect their own self-interests. But also, you've got to try to play a team role and find and kind of do what's best for college football. But at the same time, Texas can't just give away all of its inherent advantages. And that's a major concern of mine, one of them being, of course, Texas collectives.
And the Texas collectives have been a key. When they all came together, what was it, almost 2 years ago, that seemed to be the streamline that they needed for this NIL direction. How has that – where do you see that moving forward?
Well, I'm hoping that the level of detail and organization and forward thinking that we saw with the collectives is going to be, we'll have the same care as those come in house, was what we expect. Or, they're probably going to go away, but their job, what they did, will come in house. And so that's going to be a huge concern. Can they stay at the forefront of that? But Texas collectives have been key. It's no coincidence that Texas has seen this resurgence on the field and in recruiting at the same time that NIL was legalized. A lot of people said, everybody was dirty back in the day. And that wasn't the case. If everybody was dirty, then Texas would have always recruited at a high level. And recruiting a top 10 class is not the same as recruiting a top 3 class. Getting can't miss guys versus guys that are good that need to be developed is not the same. Texas is recruiting at a whole different level ever since Steve Sarkisian got there and NIL became legal. So now if collectives go away, which is what we expect, Texas is going to have to figure out a way to make up for that advantage. At the same time, they're going to have to protect their own interests from other schools that will probably go back to doing things the old way, assuming that there's going to be a salary cap in place. So you're going to see a lot of money start moving under the table once again if there's not some protections put in place. So there's a lot to navigate right now. Losing a collective is not going to be a good development for Texas. It's also not the end of the world because there are inherent advantages to the school that can help them sort of overcome the loss of this advantage.
Whenever you get in trouble, this is a guy that isn't going away. Andre the lawyer. He's not going anyway. He's located in Dallas, Texas, and he's here to help you out. For all injured Longhorns, far and wide, car wrecks, slip and falls, accidents on the job, 18-wheelers, wrongful deaths. Listen, Andre the lawyer is there to help you. Give him a call at 214-444-8808. That's 214-444-8808. Andre the lawyer, longtime Inside Texas reader. Give him a shot if you're ever in trouble. He'll be there for you. He's not going anywhere, Andre the lawyer. We got some notes and quotes from some of the decision makers. Our man Joe Cook was on the ground in Destin. Got to see Sankey, Chris Del Conte. Got to see a lot of different guys. What are some of the key notes and quotes from the decision makers, Eric? You talked about earlier in the humidor. Lay some of those out for the fans?
Yeah, when you read what Joe, and this is where Joe really came through for the article. He talked to Del Conte, Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, even Jay Hartzell, UT's president. And one thing that stood out to me was how all three of those people were on the same exact page. Now, I expect that. I think they've been on the same page since even before Texas joined the SEC. I thought that's kind of why they joined in the first place, was they kind of see a similar trajectory for college football. But I'm not 100% sure that what I'm hearing is actually good for Texas. Del Conte wants to bring NIL in-house, which, okay, I guess. But that's going to probably get rid of collectives, which, again, that's a lost advantage for Texas. NIL in-house means more marketability, which Austin is a great town, the best town in college football for this opportunity, for real marketing opportunities. We saw that with Bijan. Quinn has some real deals. We're seeing that with quite a few players. So the marketability there, the ability for those guys to earn beyond the proposed salary cap that we'll get into in a minute, is there definitely. But there's a lost advantage with the abolition of collectives that I think Texas is going to have trouble to navigate. I'm also not hearing enough about what I think is going to be key for Texas in this upcoming climate is enforcement. If you don't have proper enforcement, you're going to have deals under the table, and Texas is not going to play that game. And so there's again another lost advantage. Enforcement is going to be one of the most important things that come out of this. Now, is that going to come from? Where's enforcement going to come from? It can't come from the NCAA. We know that they don't really have any teeth to do it. If federal legislation comes in, then you'll probably have more teeth. You'll probably have laws instead of rules, and that's actually a good thing for Texas. But who's going to say how effective the federal government would be at enforcing them? So you can see how that's just another underlying point of how we're certainly in the chaos stage. We don't know who's going to enforce these new rules. And again, these new rules are not, they don't hurt Texas necessarily, but they don't help Texas as much as the previous ones did.
Now, this is a new era, a new ground for all. What do Texas fans need to be optimistic about, and also some skepticism as well?
Yeah, I mean, I've laid out the skepticism pretty good. I can go back into that in a second. But, optimism is, that salary cap that's going to be, at least proposed. It's nothing is written in stone yet, of $22 million. That's still a considerable number. Now, there's other pitfalls with that as well. Title IX is going to play a major factor. We'll have time to discuss that on another show. But the $22 million is a tough number for schools to come up with. Athletic budgets are much tighter than the common person thinks. A lot of schools don't even make money. This is going to force a lot of schools to streamline. I think some schools are actually already trimming the fat from their bureaucracies. I think A&M just got rid of like 35 people or something, maybe even more than that. That might have had something to do with Jimbo Fisher's contract as well. But I know schools are trying to get ahead of these cost measures that are going to come into place. But in any event, money's not an issue for Texas, especially when it's handled on the up and up. But the salary cap, that is an issue because not all schools are going to observe it. It's like, the Yankees will just pay the luxury tax. They don't care. The luxury tax in this instance will just be poker chips and money under the table for some schools. But again, that $22 million is going to be a tough number for most schools to come up with. It won't be an issue for Texas to come up with, fortunately. Other reasons for optimism is that, Texas just has inherent advantages that are going to endure forever. They're going to have smart people in places of making decisions. They're going to have to show really good resolve in the coming years and months, but they've got the aptitude for it. We saw that with the collective. Those are all Texas people that created that collective. We need those sorts of brains involved. That's an inherent advantage. They were at the forefront with collectives. They should be at the forefront of this. There's definitely opportunities with I would say the above board NIL. That's a long-term advantage. And another one is, it's a good education. It's always going to be a good school. Kids want to go there. And play for Sarkisian. Those schemes are going to get them paid long after college football for a number of them. So there's plenty of optimism there.
Yeah, and the truth is there's so much here to unpack. And what you really got to do is come see us at InsideTexas.com, especially today, because this was a really good humidor. And it really is a lot more to it than we've actually, given you today. Come see us. Use that promo code IT1. That'll get you 2 months of InsideTexas.com for just $1. It's only $1 to really get caught up. And we're about to jump into team is reporting on June 2nd. We got a July 1st camp. We got official visit season ahead. Eric, we got a lot of stuff to cover over the next month. Yep. But be sure and come over there and see us at InsideTexas.com. Be sure and like this video and subscribe to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel. We're going to continue to climb, and we really want you to be a part of it. And thank you for making us a part of your day on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com.